Welcome to this video on the topic dating of Ramayana period. There are many theories about this, but in this video I will give you solid astronomy based evidence to show that the Ramayana period is 5114 BCE to 5077 BCE. But first, let me tell you the criteria used to prove the dates of important events. Remember that Ramayana is an Itihasa and also a Kavya. In fact, the first Kavya in Sanskrit. So, it contains a narration of historical events with planetary positions, and also it has poetic descriptions of climate, seasons, etc. We cannot use any of these poetic descriptions as our basis for dating of events because there is an ambiguity involved in this. But using position of planets is the most reliable and accurate method for dating of events. This is because of two reasons. Firstly, position of a planet keeps changing continuously, but in a predictable manner and is a measure of time. So, the time at which a given pattern of 9 planets occurs is unique. The same pattern cannot happen more than once in a span of 4.32 million years. We can prove this with simple mathematics. Second reason is that, fortunately, we now have very good software to find out the position of the 9 planets on any given day very accurately. So, I will show you the proof of the event dates based on the clear, explicit statements of the position of planets and not any other poetic description in the epic. Now let us begin with Rama's birth, which is the first and most important event because Valmiki gives a very clear and detailed description of the position of planets in Balakanda Sarga 18. So we will first find this date and see whether the other event dates match the timeline with respect to this date of birth. I will read the slokas. ततो यज्ञे समाप्ते तु ऋतूनां षट्समत्ययुः ततश्च द्वादशे मासे चैत्रे नवमिके तिथौ नक्षत्रे अदितिदैवत्ये स्वोच्छसंस्थेषु पञ्चसु ग्रहेषु कर्कटे लग्ने वाक्पतानिन्दुना सह प्रोद्यमाने जगन्नाथं सर्वलोकनमस्कृतम्. Rama was born in Chaitra month, Navami Tithi, Punarvasu star, Karkataka Lagna, Jupiter and Moon in Lagna, and when 5 planets were in their own or exalted houses. Notice that in this sloka, Valmiki uses the word Svocha to give the position of 5 planets. In the astrology books such as Parashara Hora Shastra, Svocha or Swa plus Ucha is used to mean own or exalted house. We will take this meaning. Here in this chart for 9th January 5114 BCE, we see that it is Chaitra, Jupiter and Moon in Karkataka Lagna, and 4 planets, Sun, Venus, Mars and Jupiter are in exaltation. And the 5th planet Moon is in its own house Karkataka. So it matches the description of Valmiki. Now, as per the description, the position of Sun, Moon and Jupiter are very specific. Sun should be in Mesha, Moon and Jupiter should be in Karkataka. But 2 of the other 3 planets, Venus, Mars and Saturn, can be in their own or exalted houses. This gives a possibility of different date matching the description of Valmiki. 14th December 6788 BCE is the only other date I could find which matches this description, but with a different pattern of planets. On this day, that is 14th December 6788 BCE, Sun was in Mesha, Moon and Jupiter were in Cancer, as they should be, Venus in Taurus, Saturn in Capricorn. However, although this date matches the description of Valmiki, the dates for other events in the timeline do not match for this date of birth. So, we can take the date of 9th January 5114 BCE as the date of birth of Rama. The next important event to look at is the date of exile. We have two clues for this date: statements of Sita and Dasharatha. When Rama comes to know about his exile on the day of coronation, he goes to Sita to inform her. At that time, Sita says, "O Rama, learned Brahmins have told that today Jupiter is in Pushya star. Why are you sad?" This is in Ayodhya Kanda 26th Sarga. That means the exile began when Jupiter was in Pushya constellation. Jupiter was in Pushya between 6th March 5091 BCE and 6th May 5091 BCE when Rama was 24-year-old. So the date of exile should be between 6th March and 6th May of 5091 BCE. Again, in Sarga 3, Shloka 1, Dasharatha declares that tomorrow on Pushyami day, Rama will be coronated. Again, in Sarga 4, Shloka 21, we have Dasharatha telling Rama, "Get coronated tomorrow when moon is in Pushyami." So, from these shlokas, it is clear that the day of coronation and hence the exile was when Jupiter and moon both were in Pushyami. This happens on 20th March 5091 BCE and again on 16th April 5091 BCE. So we will find out which of these two dates is correct as we find the dates of other events. For the same event, Rama's exile, we have one more important clue. It is the description of the position of planets afflicting Dasharatha's birth star. Dasharatha says, one day before coronation, "O Rama, astrologers tell me that malefic planets, Sun, Mars and Rahu are afflicting my birth star. Avastabdhancha me Rama nakshatram darunair grahaihi avedayanti daivajna surya angaraka rahubhihi." This is in Ayodhya Kanda 4th Sarga. Let us see if such a combination of planets, Rahu, Sun and Mars, was going to come. About 4 months from the coronation day, that is between 2nd July and 13th July of 5091 BCE, Sun and Rahu were in Chitta constellation. Mars was in Pushyami and was aspecting Chitta. So Chitta was indeed afflicted by these three malefic planets as stated by Dasharatha. We can also know from this that Dasharatha's birth star was Chitta. The next event to look at is the war between Rama and Khara. Valmiki does not give the planetary positions for this event explicitly, but gives a detailed description of how the climate was at the time of war. This description seems to be in the context of bad omens for Khara. Such poetic descriptions are also given at many places during the war. But here, Valmiki also says that sun was caught by Rahu, which is interpreted by some as a solar eclipse. But Valmiki also describes a meteor shower at this time. There is some ambiguity in the descriptions here. However, look at this chart for 28 October 5079 BCE, 5 pm. It is close to a solar eclipse. Solar eclipses do repeat, but there was no other eclipse matching this timeline. We may take the most likely date for the war as 28 October 5079 BCE. The next event to consider is Hanuman going to Lanka. We have two clues here for dating this event. When Hanuman meets Sita, she says to him that Ravana gave her 1 year time and 9 months were completed. From the descriptions at the time of Rama reaching Pampa Lake, we know that the abduction took place in March. So 9 months from then would be December. So the day Hanuman met Sita should be in December 5078 BCE. In Sundarakanda Sarga 2, Valmiki also says that Hanuman entered Lanka as the sun was setting and moon was rising, meaning a full moon day. As you see in the chart, 30 December 5078 BCE was a full moon day, and so that is the day when Hanuman entered Lanka. Next we see when Rama begins his journey to Lanka with Vanara army. Rama says to Sugriva, "Today is Uttara and tomorrow is Hasta. These are auspicious days for our journey. Let us start today." On 30 December 5078 BCE, the day Hanuman entered Lanka, the star was Chitta. After that, Uttara constellation comes on 25 January 5077 BCE, as shown in the chart. So, the date Rama and Vanara army began their journey to Lanka was 25th January 5077 BCE. The next event for which we have planetary positions is the final phase of war, battle between Rama and Ravana. Valmiki gives the position of Mercury and Mars during this direct battle when Rama was not able to fight with Ravana, indicating a bad period. In Sarga 103, Shloka 33, Valmiki says, "Lord of creations, Brahma's star, Rohini, which is dear to moon, was occupied by the planet Mercury, predicting bad luck to people." Again in Shloka 36, he says, "In the sky, the planet Mars also stood in constellation of Vishaka, which was bad for the Kosala kings." Mercury was in Rohini and Mars aspected Vishaka between February 25 and March 3, 5077 BCE. This was the period of final phase of the battle. Ravana was killed a few days later. So this is the clue to find the approximate period when Ravana was killed. The next event is the date of Rama's return to Ayodhya. One day before he enters Ayodhya, Rama sends Hanuman to meet Bharata. Hanuman tells Bharata, this is in Yuddhakanda 129 Sarga, that Rama reached the bank of Ganga and is staying at the hermitage of sage Bharadwaja. Tomorrow, at the time when Pushya star is in union with the moon, you will be able to see Rama without any obstruction. We have seen that the final phase of battle was between February 25 and March 3rd. Moon was in Shravana star on March 3rd. Next time, Moon will be in Pushya star on March 17th, 5077 BCE. So, according to this shloka, Rama reached Bharadwaj ashram on the evening of 16th March, which was Dvitiya, and he reached Ayodhya on 17th March, Tritiya, when Moon was in Pushya. But there is a minor mismatch here. Valmiki also says in Sarga 127, Shloka 1, that after 14 years of exile, on the 5th day of the bright half of lunar month, that is Shukla Panchami, Sri Rama reached Bharadwaja's hermitage and bent his head down and offered salutations to the sage. This indicates that Rama returned to Bharadwaj ashram on the evening of 18th March 5077 BCE, which was Panchami, but Moon was already past Pushyami and is in Ashresha. So we can take the date of return to Ayodhya to be between 17th and 19th March 5077 BCE. And the date he left Ayodhya for Vanvas is 20th March 5091 BCE. Now, summarizing, let us see the dates for all the events. Rama was born on 9th January 5114 BCE. He begins his exile on 20th March 5091 BCE, when he was 24 years old. War with Khara takes place on 28 October 5079 BCE. Abduction of Sita takes place in March 5078 BCE. Rama kills Vali in April 5078 BCE. Hanuman goes to Lanka on 30th December 5078 BCE. Rama sets out to Lanka for war on 25th January 5077 BCE. Ravana was killed on March 5077 BCE. Rama returns to Ayodhya between 17th and 19th March 5077 BCE. If you like this video, please click on the like button and subscribe to my channel. Thanks for watching this video. We will meet again with another interesting and informative video.